Right now, beneath your feet, Earth is spinning at an incredible speed. But what if it suddenly stopped?
For one terrifying minute, Earth stops rotating completely. And the first problem is not the ground, it is everything still moving.
The planet has stopped, but the air, oceans, vehicles, and people still have momentum. For them, Earth just moved out from underneath.
The atmosphere would keep moving across the surface, creating winds so violent that ordinary storms would suddenly seem harmless.
And then comes the ocean. Water does not instantly understand that the planet has stopped. It keeps moving.
And this is only the first minute. But the strangest consequences would begin after the chaos starts to settle. Then, after exactly 60 seconds, Earth begins spinning again. But stopping was only half the disaster.
When the planet starts rotating again, the atmosphere and oceans cannot instantly match its new motion.
The atmosphere would slam back against the surface, creating another burst of extreme winds. The ocean would behave like a gigantic moving wall, surging inland and then rushing back toward the coast.
Even after the rotation returns, the planet would not immediately return to normal. The atmosphere and oceans would need time to settle.
But the most shocking consequence would not be the wind, the waves, or the destruction. It would be what happens to our entire climate. Even a 1-minute interruption would disturb the atmosphere. But imagine if Earth stayed stopped for much longer. If Earth permanently stopped rotating, one side would face the sun for months, while the other side would remain trapped in darkness. On the dark side, temperatures would plunge, oceans would begin freezing, and huge regions could become almost completely uninhabitable. On the bright side, relentless sunlight would heat the land, evaporate water, and transform entire ecosystems. Between these extremes, a narrow twilight zone might become the most valuable habitable region on the planet.
Earth would no longer be the familiar blue world we know. But there is one final question. Could humanity actually survive?
If humanity had warning, the safest survivors would move underground, away from the planet's extreme surface conditions. Over time, humanity could build underground cities, growing food with artificial light and recycling nearly every drop of water. Traditional farming would become extremely difficult. Crops depend on stable sunlight, temperatures, rainfall, and seasons. Animals would face an even harder battle. Migration routes, food supplies, and habitats would change, faster than many species could adapt.
Humanity would begin moving toward the narrow regions where temperatures remained survivable. Land would become more valuable than gold.
Humanity might survive, but civilization would never be the same. Earth would become a world divided by light, darkness, heat, and cold. Then the ocean rises again, not as a wave, but as a moving wall of water, hundreds of kilometers wide.
As the atmosphere struggles to adjust, enormous storm systems could spread across continents, turning the sky into a global battlefield. And then something beautiful happens. For a moment, sunlight breaks through the chaos, reminding us how fragile our world really is.
And the moon would keep pulling on Earth's oceans. Even without rotation, gravity would continue moving the water.
Survival would depend on one thing: finding the narrow regions where Earth still allows humans to live. From space, Earth would look almost unrecognizable. One planet, split into worlds of fire, ice, and twilight.
the moon would still control the tides. And without normal rotation, coastal waters could behave in terrifyingly unfamiliar ways.
Entire coastlines could become temporary battlefields between the ocean and the land.
Far from the sunlight, another world would emerge. Frozen oceans, endless darkness, and landscapes almost impossible for humans to inhabit.
On the opposite side, endless sunlight would slowly turn the surface into a furnace.
Humanity would follow the climate, migrating toward a thin band between fire and ice.
Generations later, children might grow up knowing the old Earth only from recordings and never experience an ordinary sunrise or sunset. Even time itself would become strange. A normal 24-hour day would no longer exist. Humans would have to invent their own day, creating artificial cycles to replace the natural rhythm of Earth. But survival underground would require enormous energy. Without reliable power, artificial farms, lights, water, and oxygen systems could fail. Then comes the most basic problem of all. Every underground survivor would depend on machines simply to breathe. If one underground system failed, thousands of lives could depend on reaching another shelter before the air ran out.
So could humanity survive a world without rotation? Maybe, but there is one problem we have not talked about yet.
To stop Earth instantly, something would have to overcome the rotational momentum of an entire planet. The required force would be unimaginably enormous.
And the faster the stop happened, the worse it would be. A truly sudden stop would turn the planet into a global momentum disaster. The oceans would keep their momentum too. Water that was moving with Earth would suddenly become a planetary-scale moving mass.
And here is an important correction. Stopping rotation would not instantly switch off its magnetic field. The real danger would be far more complicated.
But if Earth stopped and then started spinning again, the second acceleration could create another global catastrophe.
So the real answer is simple. Earth stopping suddenly is practically impossible naturally, and surviving the consequences would be extraordinarily difficult.
We rarely think about it, but every moment of our lives depends on Earth continuing this invisible motion. Rotation helps shape our days, our winds, our oceans, and the climate patterns that support billions of lives. Billions of people live different lives across this planet, yet every one of us shares the same moving world beneath our feet.
One small change could transform our familiar blue planet into something almost unrecognizable.
Fortunately, this nightmare is not our reality. Earth keeps spinning, quietly carrying every generation into another day.
So the next time you look at the sky, remember, the planet beneath you is moving, and you are moving with it. Now imagine watching the impossible happen in real time. Earth stops, but everything around its surface keeps moving. Just 60 seconds would be enough to create consequences that could reshape coastlines, weather, and human civilization. And when the planet starts spinning again, the chaos would not simply disappear. The atmosphere and oceans would need time to recover. But this is only a thought experiment. In reality, Earth continues its rotation every second. Every sunrise, every sunset, and every ordinary day exists because our planet keeps moving exactly as it should. Earth does not need to stop to amaze us. It is already moving through space, carrying every one of us with it.